What is up, Spurs Nation? You wanted the best. You got the best. TSR Sports, Clan the Spurs fan. We are here to talk live Spurs.
Yes, sir. What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm great. We got a lot to talk about. Spurs played 5 preseason games, finished 3-2. And you know what? If every 5 games in the regular season they go 5-2 or 3-2 out of 5, I'm good with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're looking good, man. I'm excited, especially after a few of these preseason games. But yeah, we got to get into it.
We do. We got a member, channel member, Lucas. Thank you for being here. I'll try to keep an eye on, your comments, but it's really tough, as I'm sure Clan knows, when you are talking to somebody else on your channel. It's really hard to get the chat involved just as much as you do when you're alone. But I'll do my best.
Facts.
Okay. So, by the way, if you don't know Clan the Spurs fan, he's a Spurs fan. The link to his channel is not only in the chat, but it's also in the description. Sub him up. Let's get him to at least 5,000, hopefully 6. Hey, maybe 10 by the end of the year.
20.
20? Well, I want to get to 22 by the end of the year. That would be
50.
50. Man, we're gonna need some of these Spurs players to turn into all-stars in the next couple months. So we're gonna talk about the preseason, and what my plan is with Clan is we're gonna talk about every player, just maybe a minute or two, go over their stats, what we thought of them in the preseason, what maybe we liked, didn't like, and then maybe an expectation for the regular season. So you ready for this, my man?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're starting on the top. Dejounte Murray led the team in scoring. He played 4 out of the 5 games, 26 minutes a game. Shot a phenomenal 56% from the field, and a surprising 40% from beyond the arc. That was taking just about 4 attempts per game, hit all his free throws, 5.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and led the team at 17 points per game. Your thought on DJ's preseason?
Okay. Real talk. I am known as kind of a DJ hater at times. I don't hate him, okay? I do like DJ, but he does do a lot of things in the offseason where I'm like, what? Okay, but during the preseason right now, I have to say he is the most solid player that we have. Like, going forward, I don't expect him to be a superstar. And I know that's crazy, especially with his stats probably going to be somewhere between like 18, 8, 6 or something. Like, it's going to be something like that. But even with that being said, I'm not expecting him to be a superstar, but he is going to be solid. He's going to be somebody every single game. We can kind of rely on him emotionally and, rebound wise, even playmaking. I don't know if you agree with this, TSR, but I might say that he has kind of the edge on Derrick with playmaking now, which I didn't see coming because his playmaking is really good all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
I think I know what happened. All those rumors about him being traded, he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Hey, that could be it.
And I'm all for that. Play with a chip on your shoulder and go out there and hustle. I mean, I know when you saw that play where he chased that loose ball down, that Dejounte just went and he sprinted full speed, got to the edge of the baseline, able to throw it into KJ for the dunk. I was like, that is the absolute opposite of what Luca Samanic did before he got cut from the team. It was just such great to see both players hustle. And if Dejounte's going to play like he is right now and being assertive, not only with his shots, but nailing threes, if he can maintain near a 40% clip for 3-pointers for the season,
yeah,
and Derrick plays like bubble Derrick, or if he goes in the playoffs, we are so set at the guard spot.
Yeah, you kind of forget how fast these players are until they don't have the ball in their hands, because he was super quick down that court. Jeez, man.
Yeah, I would have not been. Yeah, sorry. I want to acknowledge everybody's here, but I think we both expect DJ to. It sounds like have a great season. Maybe not hit superstar level, but you never know what fans are who they're gonna attach to. But I think 28-6 is very possible. That's the one thing I'd like to see Murray do is get more assists. He's our point guard. I think he's got to get to that 7 assist level again. We're up to really have people notice him as a point guard.
I feel like his basketball IQ increased. I mean, I know that that's just weird to say. I don't know if that is a thing within like a season or two, but yeah, last season I kind of saw it, and now we're starting to see Ultimate DJ. He might be going into his prime this season. I don't know, but it kind of seems like he's edging into that prime. Because if that playmaking is A1, then he's a pretty much all around player now.
Ultimate DJ, I like that.
Ultimate DJ. Who said that?
You did.
I said that?
You just said that. Ultimate DJ.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I'm at right now.
We're at number 2, our second leading scorer, and this is definitely a player that was a tale of two halves throughout the preseason. Keldon Johnson shot only 40% or 47% from the field, a disappointing 29% from beyond the arc, and was really shaky at the line. 63%, chipped in 4 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and averaged 15 points per game. I certainly think he'll be one of our top 3 scorers. Your thoughts on KG's preseason?
My thoughts on KJ is that I'm very nervous about Keldon. Not him personally, but just the role that they're trying to put him in. I've been seeing him kind of have the ball in his hands maybe a little too often, like almost as if he's running the offense. I don't think that's going to work out. He just goes up there, jack up shot. I don't like it. Keldon Johnson, in my opinion, right now as it stands, is a solid role player, and that's what he should be. I don't think he should start taking on the Lonnie Walker or DJ role at all. Not yet, anyways. I don't know how you feel about that.
He's my favorite player.
Okay.
And we've seen him play phenomenal at points during the preseason, and of course, in his previous 2 seasons. But I think what people forget with Keldon, because they're putting expectations high, and I'm trying not to do that, he's not actually played a full NBA season yet. He has not played 82 games. I believe he played 9 in his rookie season, and then last season was abbreviated. He hasn't played 82 games yet, so we can't be expecting, this. Yeah, if you want to fact check me on that, please do so. But I don't think he's played 82 yet. So we have to temper expectations. When we should still have Derrick and Dejounte creating space, creating shots. If our 3-point shooting's on, that should open up the floor for Keldon. But he shouldn't be. It felt forced at times in the preseason, which I think he was missing a lot of shots. The good thing is, in that last game against the Rockets, he was getting to the line a lot. He was just missing a lot.
Well, was it 82? It was 82 last season?
No, last season was shortened.
Yeah, I think he played 69 games last season.
What he plays rookie year?
It's only 17.
He played 17 NBA games rookie year?
Yeah, 17 is rookie year, and then the second year, 69, and 67 of those games he started.
So he's played 86. Okay, so he's just barely played over NBA season. Dang it.
Yeah. He just scraped over,
Just scraped over. Dang it.
You were close.
I was close. But I think Keldon's going to be solid, but I don't think he should be rushed into the main guy role. Let DJ take that. Dejounte is actually, by the Spurs standards right now, would be considered a veteran because most of our guys have been with the team 3-4 years.
That's weird. Even McBuckets is considered like the veteran of the team, and that's so weird. Him being like 29.
He is a vet. Thad and Al would be other vets on the team. After that, everybody's 27 or under. It's a very young team.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to number 3, a surprise comeback player for the Spurs coming back to the team. That is Bryn Forbes, was our 3rd leading scorer. He averaged just under 20 minutes a game, shot 46% from the field, a phenomenal 48% from beyond the arc. And aside from that, didn't do a whole heck of a lot as he's a scorer. He averaged 12.8 points per game in the 19. Your thoughts on Bryn's preseason?
Yeah, I think that everyone that talks bad about Bryn Forbes don't know what they're talking about. I think that Bryn Forbes, yes, his defense is not great. And I understand that. And I know that that's terrible, that's awful, whatnot. But sharpshooters, when have sharpshooters really been just phenomenal defenders? Maybe we're just kind of getting, I don't know, like spoiled by like the Klay Thompsons of the world or something, but they're usually not good defenders. So when it comes to Bryn Forbes, I think when it's all said and done, like in the fourth quarters, second half of games, we'll be able to depend on him. And a lot of times we're going to struggle because we have a young team, and he'll be the guy that kind of keeps us above water, similar to like the second game with the Pistons when he scored like 20 or something.
Yeah, he went nuts. Yeah, he was our leading scorer.
Yeah. He's going to be very dependable. That's the word I would say, because our team's going to be inconsistent. He's going to be consistent. I like this role. I absolutely hated him as a starter 2 years ago, but as this player coming off the bench, getting about 18 minutes a game, I don't want to pop trying to force Patty Mills minutes because I think Patty got too many minutes last year when he was getting 23, 25, 26. Give him that 18 minutes game. The big shot, give us the big shot off the bench, a big 3 when you need it. If you need him in there at the end of the game for, a 3-point shot, great. But I think he's found his role. And he obviously did very well with Milwaukee, from what I understand last year from Bucks fans. He was great off the bench. Keep him there, but don't try to overuse him. So I like what Bryn's been doing. I like what he's brought to the team this year. Yeah, that was the main thing. Because last time we had Bryn Forbes, they overused him because he was kind of the only 3-point shooter we had, or at least the most consistent one. And it seemed like every single play we were setting up for him. But that's not going to be the case anymore. We don't have to worry about that.
Everybody in the chat hear us? I have one person saying he can't hear us, but nobody else has said that. And I would think you guys would have told us by now, 10 minutes in, like, I can't hear you guys.
Let me see.
Yeah, and Bryn's an NBA champion. I mean, he's the only one on the roster, right? I don't think Thad or Al have a ring, do they?
Yeah, our audio's working. I'm on your YouTube channel.
Okay. All right, well, turn it up, you boy Rico. Turn it up.
Yes,
turn it
sir.
up.
Turn
I'm
up.
about to turn it up, Chris. That's what's born to do. All right, that just happened. Our number 4 player, and this particular player, this is scoring wise, had a very down, and a little bit of up preseason. Derrick White, in the 5 games, played 26 minutes, shot a phenomenally bad 34% from the field, and even worse, 22% from beyond the arc. He was our 4th leading scorer, though, with 10.8 points per game, and chipped in 4.6 rebounds and 3.6 assists. Really struggled into that last game of the Rockets. Your thought on Derrick White?
I don't want him as shooting guard. I know that he's like good at catching shooting, especially last season. I think he was like 38% from catch and shoot, but he's not a shooting guard. And I know that like people will consider him a combo guard and stuff like that. I think that's fine, but I would much rather him just run offenses, just run the bench or something in that matter. I don't like him just, catching and shooting. But with that being said, he was injured. He didn't play a lot last season. I'm not angry with the kind of slip up during the preseason. It's all good. He looks like he was way more informed last game, and that's the one that mattered the most.
Yeah, I was a little nervous with those first 4 games, and people like, Rich, TSR, it's only the preseason. Who cares? I'm like, well, you know what? If you struggled the entire preseason, that could carry over to the regular season. Basketball, while a physical game, I feel is very much mental. I know when I'm shooting hoop in my backyard and I hit 3 shots, missed 3 shots in a row, it starts getting up in here. Now I have the luxury. I'm all alone. I can just go for a dunk or layup, and then my confidence back. They're out on the court, and it's very much confidence driven. So I'm glad Derrick is going to the regular season on a good note. And I think both our guards really are combo guards. That's just kind of the role they have. I don't think we're going to have a defined shooting guard or point guard. It's going to be kind of play it by ear and what the defense gives us. But I think both guys are capable, and hopefully now that they're going to actually get to play the season together and start together, which didn't happen much last year, they'll find a good rhythm and be the 2-man group we think they can be.
I actually like what you said about the confidence, because that is going to be a big thing with Derrick White. But the thing is, I would say the last 2 seasons, his confidence have been through the roof, and I haven't seen any slip up in his confidence. But that is something that's kind of hung him up just a little bit. Like he always kind of shocked himself. Like, do you remember when he dunked on Millsap? I believe, like, after the game, he was like, I even surprised myself. Like, I didn't even know I had that in me. So
he surprised me with the dunk against the Rockets. He went up and threw it on a 2-hander. I was like, because 1-hand dunks, you don't need as much, air. 2 hands, you got to get a little higher to get both those hands over. I'm like, okay, he still has some ups, because I was worried with all the toe injuries.
Yeah. He got that sneaky athleticism. He's like a cat, dude.
This one's crazy.
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? How about them
Giants? We suck. Yeah, Derrick will be fine. We'll talk about confidence on another player as we go down the list. And I think it is our 5th leading scorer, our recent signee. Oh, how about that? 2 of our top scorers are guys that just came to the team. Doug McBuckets averaged 21 minutes a game, while he only shot 425 from the field overall. He was 43% from the arc, which is why we brought him over. And much like Bryn Forbes, didn't really give us a lot when it comes to rebounds or assists, but we brought him in to score, and he averaged 9.6 in his 5 games. Your thought on Doug McBuckets? Because to be honest with you, I didn't really follow any of his career, so this is my introduction to him.
Oh, yeah. So Doug McDermott, he's one of those late bloomers, really similar to like JJ Redick. He's always been a pretty good 3-point shooter, but now you're finally starting to see other assets of his game. And he's just getting better and better. So he's really good off ball. And that's a lot of things that I saw. Basketball IQ is really high. He had a really sweet pass, I think, to Derrick White. It was really nasty. And one thing that shocked me the most about McDermott wasn't actually the shooting and, the basketball IQ and all that. Like I expected that from him being, a veteran and getting better as the years go on. The one thing that shocked me about him the most was honestly his defense. I feel like his defense was pretty good. Like It wasn't bad. It wasn't, phenomenal, but it was like right in that sweet spot that you would want from a sharpshooter. Like it's a little above average than your normal sharp. So I'm happy with Dougie. I think he did very well.
Is deceptively athletic. He doesn't look like a guy that's going to throw down a thunder dunk of justice, but he will.
Yeah.
And he'll take it to the paint, which is good. So, you can't just sleep on him. Just think he's just going to be chucking up threes. He'll take it to the paint and throw it down. So I like what I see. And unless something crazy happens in the next few days, I'm pretty sure he's going to be starting. And you know what? Is DeMar DeRozan a better player than Doug? Yes. I'm not going to sit you and argue that Doug McDermott's a better player than DeMar. But what he's going to give us that DeMar didn't is floor spacing. defenses collapsed so much the last few years because there was no threat of a three with DeMar in there. So this will help.
I actually see it as an upgrade from Trey Lyles. I mean, I know Trey Lyles eventually stopped playing, but I feel like he's a big upgrade from Trey. Like,
when did he start playing? Oh
no, true, right? True.
There were some games, man, when he played, it's just like he came in and literally would do nothing for 10 minutes. And I was like, why do we still have him? And I rooted for him because people forget this. Just a quick tangent since you mentioned Trey Lyles. He played really well in February and March before the season got shut down last year. And then he had appendicitis and didn't play in the bubble. But he was really on a roll and then never got that form back. He averaged double-digit points per game, was playing confident, and then
yeah. And he looked up to Tim Duncan. So it's kind of unfortunate.
Who doesn't? He's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That was a really good joke, TSR.
Really no, good.
My
Tim's a good guy. Tim's a good guy. Up next, I'm a little surprised he's at number 6, but I'm glad to see he was chucking up some shots. Devin Vassell, our draft pick from last year, and he got 21 minutes a game. I expect hopefully that number stays right there going into the regular season. Shot 43% from the field, 33 from beyond the arc. Also hit all his free throws. Was actually rebounding extremely well. 5.6 rebounds per game. Your thoughts on Devin Vassell? And 9.2 points per game as well.
Oh, yeah. I think actually through the preseason, I feel like he's nowhere near his potential as far as what we're going to see during the season. Devin Vassell, I'm actually sold on the fact that he will eventually be a star for us because he has a very good attitude about him. Like he got a little bit of nastiness, a little bit of swagger. And one thing that I forget, and I know like a lot of people forget, but because we haven't seen it in so long, but he's a lottery pick. Like, yeah. and it shows. He's very consistent defensively, very consistent playmaking wise, like finding the open guy. Like everything about him is pretty good, if not pretty great for him being so young. And the fact that he was a rookie and got as many minutes as he got his first season, he's going to be good, dude. I think the preseason hasn't really given him justice. But if we think of even the summer league, we look at our boy Primo, but I believe Vassell had the most points throughout the entire summer league of any other player. So
I think you're right.
Yeah, he's nasty.
I mean, unfortunately for him, when you think 3D player, somebody that's great off a two-way player, let's say two-way player, the first person that's going to come to mind is the recent player that really, I think, knocked the franchise off the rails. I mean, I hate to bring it up, but the Kawhi Leonard disaster really set us back. And I think a lot of people are expecting Devin Vassell to be similar to Kawhi Leonard. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just have him not be the next Kawhi Leonard. Have him be the first Devin Vassell. He played great defense in the preseason. I think he could be possibly a starter maybe in a couple of years or maybe even this year. Who the heck knows? Yeah.
Also, I think I was wrong. I don't think he was. I could have sworn he was number 1. What happened? I don't know what happened. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. I'll look it up.
Yeah, Devin, I have high hopes for. I think he's going to be the guy that you know what he's doing a lot of, and I noticed in the preseason. And I don't know if he was doing this in the summer league because I didn't catch the summer league. He's looking for his own shot, but also not just staying behind the arc. He's getting into the paint or taking short mid-range jumpers. And if he can have an inside-outside game, just not be predictable and just hit it from anywhere on the floor, that's only going to help immensely to the team.
Yeah, and I have no idea where I got that from. What is wrong with me? He had 12.5, and I'm so confused. Does anyone in the chat know? I'm so confused. He was 69th over. I thought he was number 1 in the summer league. What happened? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what happened. Oh, maybe it was on our team. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on anymore. Don't listen to me, y'all. I don't know anything.
No,
I'm not talking no more. You can go ahead, TSR. I don't have anything.
All right. Appreciate that, Aaron. Yeah, it's finally I'm working with folks. I'll be working with Spurs Tube TV Wednesday night. I'll be hopping on there after the buzzer. So there's more and more Spurs channels finally coming out, which is weird, Clan, because the team is the worst they've been probably ever. And that's not disparaging this year's roster, but they've never had in their franchise history in the NBA 2 years in a row where they missed the playoffs. So we're in new territory right now.
Yeah, I think that's partly why we're getting so many people over. Like so many people are starting to put the Spurs on notice and trying to see what's going on with our team because it's just so different. And it's a little exciting. Sure. Even me, I can even just, I know this is anecdotal, but during the draft, I never really paid attention to the draft. It was always just like, oh, who we got? Oh, okay, cool, we're good. Like I never cared because I just knew we're going to be consistent regardless. And this player will show up, in the next couple of years. But no, now I was like really into it because it's like, okay, what direction are we going in? And I think that's what people want to know. Like, what are the Spurs doing? That's why they come to us and get no answers.
Also, you mentioned the NBA draft. Based on history of my doing live streams for the draft, I first started covering the draft when they drafted Luca and Keldon, and my reaction to Luca being drafted was, who?
Exactly.
My reaction to Devin Vassell being drafted was, they drafted a guy I've heard of. And then this year, once again, it was, who? So next year, the Spurs will draft a guy I've heard of.
Yeah, dude. When I did the live stream too, I was like, bro, what is going on? Who is he? I don't know what's going on. And it was just so funny because he was the complete opposite of what everyone thought we were going to get. Like the complete opposite. He just looked like a 13-year-old guard. And we were like, really, man? Come on.
The Arizona Cardinals are 6-0, and I would have never expected that. They are rolling right now. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
I ain't going to do nothing.
Up next, I was talking about confidence, and I hate to always bring this up with the young man, but this player is very confidence-driven. You can see it on his face sometimes. Lonnie Walker had a rough preseason. He played 21 minutes a game, only shot 35% from the field, 22% from beyond the arc. Struggled from the line, too, only 40%. You got to wonder if missing from the field got in his head while averaging 7.8 points per game. Your thoughts on Lonnie?
I think Lonnie has an issue with mechanics. Some people say, like, confidence. I don't know if it's necessarily confidence. Like, he's being aggressive. Especially that first game, he tried to show some more things in his arsenal, the step back. He has a really good hezzy now. It's a lot in this game where it's like, you know what? Lonnie Walker can get you off your feet, and he can create that space. It's just a matter of finishing it. It's like when he releases the shot, I never know whether or not it's going to go in or not. Like, I'm not saying he has an inconsistent jumper. It got to be something mechanics. Why? I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. It has to be mechanics.
Here's the thing, though. I think the two are correlated, confidence and mechanics, because I don't have to use my own reference again, but when I've missed some shots, I start thinking about maybe pushing the ball a little more, or
okay, I got you.
Maybe just change something the way I'm shooting. Like, well, I'm doing something wrong, and change it up. But I worry about Lonnie because he's got a lot of pressure. I think fans don't realize when you're in a contract year, and I've never played a professional sport or been in a contract year, but I got to think that weighs a lot on your shoulders because in the back of your head, it's got to be there somewhere. This might be my last year with this team, and if I have a bad year, it might only be my last year with the Spurs. Another team might not want to pick me up. That's stressful, man.
And it can't really help you, especially with Josh Primo like showing up, and now you have all these guards you're kind of competing with. Like, I mean, Devin Vassell looks a little better than Lonnie right now, and that's just me. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
No, he does, and that's not good because Lonnie's in his fourth year, Devin's in his second year, and you have an 18-year-old who's firing the ball with unbelievable confidence right now. Lonnie could be in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to show improvement, and I hope he does. I always tell people, I don't care what I say in videos. If I say, this player's not playing well, in the end, I want every player to do well because if our players are doing well, then the team is doing well.
Facts.
But this is no doubt the make or break here for Lonnie Walker, and I hope he makes. But if he's got some snipers that are looking to take his spot.
Yeah, and Veronica agrees with me. Vassell looks better so far. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we did talk about Dejounte at the beginning of the video. It's your boy Rico, so just rewatch it. Rewatch the video. Yeah, watch the video. Yes, and we'll get to him in just a few moments, Lucas. But yes, Drew Eubanks has been thunder dunk of justice all over the preseason. Oh, he's next. Look at that.
Oh.
Drew Eubanks was our 8th leading scorer, shot 55% from the field, 33% from the arc, so he finally missed some threes, but it won't count towards his regular season, so I believe he's still shooting 100% from beyond the arc. Shot a respectable 77% from the line as a big man, also gave us 7 rebounds a game, actually 3 assists, which is really good in 17 and a half minutes, while averaging 6.6 points per game. And not only that, the energy meter was off the chart. Mountain Drew was fueling the team. Your thoughts on Drew Eubanks?
So Drew, I've always been pretty high on Drew. I've always thought, even since we had like Pondexter, like I've always liked Drew Eubanks. I think that he has a lot of things in his arsenal. One thing that we haven't seen a lot of, which is kind of his go-to shot, which he hasn't even really done a lot, is that hook shot. Like, he has a really nice hook shot. He hasn't really done that a lot. But defensively, doing his thing. I don't know why teams still try to go at him. I don't get it. He's freakishly athletic. Well, I won't say freakishly. He's sneaky athletic. Yeah. He's sneaky athletic, like Derrick
deceptively White. Athletic. He doesn't look like he's very athletic though.
Yeah, right. But I think that outside shot is going to bring him over the edge. I actually think that outside shot is partially why Luca's gone, because you got a lot of options with your bigs that can shoot now. I mean, now it seems like the only person on our team that can't shoot threes is Jakob. That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
I was very surprised. I mean, we're going to get to Jakob Poeltl in a few moments. The one thing I like about Drew, and Jakob really needs to talk to him in practice, is when you're in the paint, dunk it. I don't know how many times every game I'm yelling dunk the ball at Jakob, and I hate being a broken record, but these little jump layups that he's doing, it's like you're a 7-footer, you got to dunk it. And that's what I like about Drew. And people are saying, I see in the chat, Wave Eubanks, look, we need 3 centers. We got to have 3 centers on the roster. I mean, we had 3 last year. We had Gorgie Zhang as our 3rd center. He's off the team. We need to carry 3 in case there's an injury. And guess what? We have an injury right now. Jock Landale is in concussion protocol. He should be good to go for the regular season. Yeah. But if one of these guys goes down, we need 3 carry 3 on the roster.
Yeah. And I agree with Veronica that McDermott is a cutie. In fact, he is a cutie. I agree. Yes. You disagree or no? You don't
haven't really looked at him that way to evaluate that.
Oh, okay. Oh, me neither. I was just, I don't know. Moving on.
Who's next? Well, look at this. We were just talking about the turtle power. TURTLE power. It's Jakob Poeltl. 21 minutes a game, shot 57% from the field, which we expect, and absolutely sucked from the free throw line. Also expected, shot 25%. But he did grab 7.8 rebounds, also had 2-point assists. So that, you combine our 2 centers, 38 minutes between Jakob and Drew. That's 15 boards and 6 assists and 12 points, not to mention 2 blocks. That's really good output. Jakob finished with 6.2 points per game. I feel like you're going to be in the same in line with I am. He performed like I thought he would in the preseason. It's Jakob.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about it. Honestly, the only thing I can say about Jakob right now is just negative. I think his defense is great. Rebounding is great. He's going to do the dirty work. He's going to be nasty. He's going to be consistent with what he does. But because he's also a lottery, right? I think he's also a lottery pick technically.
With Toronto, I don't remember when they drafted him. I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was 11 or 12. I don't know.
I feel like he was somewhere in there.
He got to work on finishing at the rim. Like, that's my only thing. Sometimes it just seems like you get a little sloppy. I'll say this. He used to kind of drop the ball when we would pass it to him in the paint or in traffic. He doesn't do that as much anymore. He has better hands, but for some reason, man, I just never trust him when he's going up for a layup. I don't know if he just needs to attempt to bam, but he's not that athletic. I don't know. Jakob is going to be fine. He's what we need right now. And one thing that is positive is we're going to have a lot of people to help him. Like, we got so many big men, so we'll be all right.
He was drafted 9th overall. He was a top 10 pick.
Oh, 9th.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Okay. I thought it was 11.
I like Jakob, and we have, we call him the turtle on my channel as a running joke because I was out of basketball for a couple years, and I was like kind of just really casually had a lot going on in life. So I missed when Jakob got traded to the Spurs, and when I started watching Spurs on regular, I was always watching with the sound off to call the games. So I was calling him Jakob Poeltl. I was butchering his name. Yeah. I don't know how the heck to say it. People are like, dude, it's like turtle. It rhymes with turtle,
Actually, we're saying Jakob wrong. I can't remember how you're supposed to say it, but I don't even think that's it. And everyone says Jakob, but I don't think that's how you're supposed to really say it. It's something else.
He might say it different.
Yokeb, maybe. It's something like that. I don't know. I'm going with Jakob right now.
I'm going to say something that might not be popular to you in the chat. I don't think he's our long-term solution at center. I like him. What's that?
I agree. I don't think. I mean, he's just going to be a center that comes and goes. Yeah.
He's a good starter for now, but I think he's best coming off the bench. And I'm not saying Drew Eubanks is going to be our starter. But Jock Landale or Jake Landale, if you're the Utah Jazz announcers, it could be someday. But I just don't feel like he's the long-term solution. But I'll root for him, and I hope he proves me wrong. I really do.
And Christian said it, Jakob. I think that is something Jakob? Like that. I don't Jakob or something. I can't remember. Cyro CEO. I watch a lot of his videos, and he he pronounces it right every single time. I don't know. Oh, you got a super chat?
Yeah, I do. Carlos Jeter drops to 27 on it. Says, keep going to the great, excellent job, big man. Go Spurs, go! Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that. I don't know how you're doing it because last year he couldn't super chat when he's in Puerto Rico. You must have a VPN, my man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And if you guys have not hit the thumbs up, it looks like this. Make sure you smack that. It's free, fast, fun, nutritious, and delicious, and it will cure diabetes.
It does? Hold on, I'm going to like it.
And make sure you support my man, Clan the Spurs fan. His link is right there. He's a good dude. Finally glad to get to work with him and talk Spurs with somebody. And yeah, let's keep on going. I'm having fun here tonight getting to talk to this. We got 100 in the chat. Sir. That's awesome. Number 10 on the list, but he's number 11 in our hearts. Josh Primo played in all 5 games in only 10 minutes. He shot 63% from the field, which is redonkulous. 50% from beyond the arc, and gave us just under 6 points per game. Your thoughts on Josh Primo?
Yeah, so Premonition. I'll say it again. Premonition. That's his nickname. Premonition. Premonition is playing phenomenal. I honestly, I'm a little shocked by his poise. Like, I think that he's playing so well that he's going to force Pop to have to play him. I don't see him in the G League like this if he's playing like this, because if he's playing at this level, even though the stats aren't showing it, because people are going to look at the stats and say, oh, well, he only had, a few points these last. Look, they haven't really played him other than the first game. He hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, but every single time he's played, he's done something special or showed something that looks like a veteran. The playmaking, he's unselfish. He has a really nice stroke. He plays good defense. Obviously he still has a lot to learn. Some of his turnovers were due to just being young, but yeah, man, I think he's going to force the Spurs to have to play him. I don't see how you can go throughout the season and not play him. I
think what might happen to start the season is he'll be in Austin to get some time under his belt and just get rid of some of that green on him from being a young guy. But yeah, even just saying that, I'm like, man, he showed so much in the preseason. I know people are saying it's only preseason and, don't get overhyped. I'm like, this guy's 18 and he's shooting with such poise and confidence of like a vet. Mm-hmm. And he's making some shots that those couple shots he made against the Rockets were just, I don't want to get the hype train going, but I thought Steph Curry just launched the ball from anywhere and just fire away. I was like, that is very Steph Curry-esque. And if we can have a player like that, and not now, he's 18. I'm not expecting it this season, but in 2 years, could it be something special? I'm all in, and I would totally happy to eat crow and be wrong with my draft reaction when I was like, who's this guy? Why? We say it all the time. Why are we getting another guard? And it feels like we are still doing that as we signed some guards recently. So we just love this. It's the San Antonio guards. That's who we are.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's. I don't think that we're overblowing it, because sometimes Spurs fans, we overblow things. I don't think we're overblowing it. But man, we've never seen even that step back that he has, like that step back he did last night, or the other night that we played. That was really sweet, and it's just something that we're not used to, like, because we've never had a or at least we never had like a Devin Booker. We never had like a Steph Curry. We never had like that new school, next generation style of guard work. We just never had it. Even Tony Parker could cross you over, but his main thing throughout his career, until he got a little bit older, was just going straight to the paint, super fast, too quick, out of his hands. You can't block it. In his floater, obviously. But yeah, we've never had guard work like this, man. It's kind of shocking.
Didn't Patty though I know he would do a step to the side, but didn't Patty do a lot of step back shots?
Yeah, not really. I
wouldn't.
I don't know. What did the chat like? Does the chat think
Patty Mills did that a lot? Like he would do a step. I feel like he would always be stepping over and doing it. That was like that's how he got open, because the guy's like 5'10". I mean, he's like 6 foot. He was not tall. He needed to create some separation to get his shot off.
Man, I don't know. I like Steph. I mean, Patty Mills to me always came across as kind of like a
there you go
sharpshooter.
James Santos, I forgot Patty. I feel like Patty did a lot of step back stuff.
I don't know. Not like Primo, or not like Devin Booker, or not like these newer school guards. Like I mean, I love me some Patty Mills. Patty Mills could light you up too, but I don't know if we had anything like that. I don't know.
I'll be scouting him this year when I call Nets games, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of up and down what people are saying, but yeah.
There you go. Infamous, backing me up. Patty was more catch and shoot than step back.
Yeah.
I remember stepping back a lot.
Get a screen, step to the side. Patty Mills was more of a spot up shooter. Yeah, it's kind of all over. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I think he mixed it up.
I would never. I'll say this. I'll say it like this. I would never say Patty Mills could create his own shot. I don't think he could. I don't think Patty Mills create his own shot.
I think there's more potential with Primo. Primo's also a much bigger guy. He's 6'8", and he might not. Or 6. What is he? 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah,
and he might not be done growing.
6'6".
He could add an inch or two onto that frame, maybe even more. Can you imagine if he balloons up to like 6'9"?
Yeah, he actually supposed to. I think that's like I don't think that's a rumor. I think the doctors actually expect him to grow like a few more inches, so he could very well be 6'9" and be that nasty. That's why I compared him to Kevin Durant. I mean, that was why I did it. I don't know. No one agreed with me, but whatever. I love you.
Well, I figured the talk on Optimus Primo would be extensive, so we'll move right along to our next player. If you guys don't know, there's a disagreement on what Joshua Primo's nickname should be. Somebody in my chat said Optimus Primo. I grew up in the 80s, so I love the Transformers, so I obviously like the nickname. He's not a fan, and I get it. His channel came up with the Premonition.
Premonition. I saw someone in your chat say Optimus Premonition. I think we can kind of
Optimus Premonition.
We can kind of agree on that one.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that. Who's next? Number 11. Not number, but the got to bring him up because I said I talk about everybody that played in the preseason. No longer a San Antonio Spur. Luca Samanic, although if you look at his numbers, they weren't bad. If you look at his play, it says something different. But in the 4 games he played, he averaged 8 minutes, shot 53% from the field, 50% from the arc. He actually averaged just under 6 points a game in those 8 minutes. I don't think there's much to say about Luca. He's gone. The effort wasn't there. Wasn't a fit.
Yeah. I look, I was a little upset when he left. Just a little bit. Because I was expecting good things from him, at least big things from him. But at the same time, man, I'm sorry. I know some people have made excuses for it. I'm going to double down on this. I know that's one play. I know it's just one play. But I think Spurs fans that are criticizing it aren't just going off of that one play. But when Premonition or Optimus Premonition gets a turnover and you don't chase it down, bro, that's bad. Like some people try to excuse it like, oh, he couldn't have got there anyway. No, dude, like you're competing for a spot. Like, are you really that content? Like, chase it down. Go. Even if you don't get there, you go 120% because you're trying to get on a roster. But it doesn't seem like he's like willing to do that. I don't know.
I mean, it's oddly enough, after that game the next day, I did who's going to get cut video. And I mentioned that Luca might be a surprise cut now because of that play. And I know some folks like, not from that one play. I'm like, when you have a shaky preseason, and then that's my last memory of Luca Samanic now is not chasing the ball down.
Yeah.
That opens, if you were on the fence on whether you're going to cut him or not, and then you see that, preseason or not. And by the way, what Dejounte Murray did against the Rockets, we're going to use the preseason or not. He hustled like nobody's business to get a loose ball that was going out of bounds when Jason Tate was just like, the Spurs are going for it. Get up here. Keldon knocked in front of me. Oh, shoot. You got to, like you said, if you're trying to save a roster spot, you got to show you want it.
Yeah. And I did a few. I mean, I gave a few excuses to Luca in the past, like especially his rookie year. I was like, oh, maybe he just plays like that because he's like a Jokic, like a guy it doesn't look like he's really trying, but he's just that good, and he's just that confident. But no, Luca, you gotta, because he was kind of starting to just turn into a straight up sharpshooter for us, and not even a good sharpshooter. So it just wasn't going to work out. And he's a really weird size too, man. Like it's really weird where he's at. He can't play center. He's kind of a power forward / small
forward. Yeah, a combo forward because we like combo players.
Yeah, he's a combo forward. Yeah, he showed no passion.
Closing this, it sucks because that was a first round pick, and to get 2 pretty much meaningless years out of a first round pick, especially when he showed so much potential in Austin last year, it's like what the heck happened? Yeah. Luca, good luck to New York. And man, if that kid finds a home in New York and ends up playing well, even if it's just off the bench, we're going to sit here and go, yep, should have gave him one more year. But then again, that preseason sealed the deal. I mean, you can't keep a player on your team that's not trying.
Well, it's about what you do with us. If this is a wake up call for him and he goes and he just plays phenomenally well, I don't blame the Spurs for that. I think some people do that. They'll say, "Oh, see, Spurs, you should." And it's like, I mean, it was him, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. They would have kept him. They would have. The Spurs love developing players. They would have kept him.
And people talk about Christian Wood a lot in my chat. Like, the Spurs went after him. Like, no one knew he was going to turn into the player that he did last year. That was a very slow progression over a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next player.
Luca, no effort.
Jock Landale are signing. I don't know much about his overseas career. He only got 11 minutes per game, shot 46% from the field, 29% from beyond the arc, but he is a big man that can shoot the three, while giving us 4.3 rebounds, which actually is really good in only 11 minutes over a full starter minutes. That'd be about 13 boards a game, and gave us 5.7 points. So actually, if you gave him 33 minutes, looks like he could be a 16-12 guy. So there's potential there. Your thoughts on Jock Landale?
Oh, I'm like super high on Jock. The thing is, I know he was out last game for concussion, like
concussion
last few games. Yeah,
Lonnie.
Yeah, Lonnie. Yeah, get off the team. No, I'm just kidding. No, okay. So when it comes to Jock Landale, I really like his shooting. I like his tenacity. One thing that I was nervous about the first game was his defense. I was like, because fundamentally his defense is there. Like, he's putting his hands up. He's in the right spot. He's doing everything fundamentally well. But it just seemed like he was just undersized or something. I don't know. It was weird. But I feel like as the games went on, he gotten better at defense. And he looked as if he's been with the team for a couple years now. So, but yeah, man, he's pretty good. And I agree with Butterfly. He is a cutie pie. So what do you think? Is he a cutie pie?
I don't.
Sure. That's okay. All right. Next player.
I don't know a lot about Jock Landale because I don't follow college basketball and have no idea what he did overseas. 6'11", though, he's right where we want to be as a center. He's an older rookie, though. I think people don't remember. He's 25. He's going to be 26 next, actually this week.
Yeah, and it was actually something that happened. He was supposed to be in the NBA, but he got bad advisement or something. He's been pretty upset about that for a while.
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to already be in the NBA. I don't know what exactly happened.
I think I saw that somewhere. Yeah, so he's an old rookie. Wow, I didn't realize he's going to be 26 on October 25th. I mean, if he can be Jakob Poeltl defensively, except dunk in at the three, then we're good. And if he can be that guy with starter minutes, if we're just projecting his preseason stats, and I know take those with a grain of salt, but if he can be a even 15-12, I mean, when's the last time we had a center average double-double? Did Aldridge ever average 10 rebounds with us?
That's a good question. I'll look it up. I feel like he would have, but maybe not.
Obviously, Timmy D did. He was the double-double master. But
yeah.
And I know people are like, well, no, power forward. I'm like, Tim was the power forward / center. And actually, I think if you look at Basketball Reference, I've heard somewhere he's actually started more games at center than he did power forward over his career. I don't know if that's correct.
You talking about Jock?
No, Tim Duncan actually started more games at center than power forward over his career.
Yeah, you know how, like, as that went on, he kind of had to. Oh, yeah. He never averaged a double-double with us. LA didn't. He did in Portland for 8 or
9 boards a game usually.
It looks like when he came to San Antonio, it was about 9, then 7, about 9, then 7, then 4. 4.
4?
Yeah, about 4.5 total rebounds.
That was his last season. I can't believe he's back. Just real quick, I can't believe he's back in the NBA. He retired because of a heart issue. Now all of a sudden, I'm back.
He want that ring, man. He want that ring. I was afraid to put him on my fantasy team because of this. I was like, I don't know how often he'll play.
I'll tell you, those ring chances took a big hit because they're down one of their big three, and I don't think he's going to play this year.
You talking about the Nets?
Yeah.
You don't think LA will play this year?
I don't think Kyrie Irving's going to play.
Oh, you don't think Kyrie? Oh, no, Kyrie. Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's ready to sit out the year, and that. Kevin Durant and James Harden wasn't enough in OKC. Now, granted, they're very different players. Well, KD's pretty much the same. James Harden's a different player, but they were expecting that nucleus to take them to the title this year, and now you lose one of those. I'm going to see what happens with the Nets.
I think they're going to be pretty. You got Blake Griffin, LA. Do they still have Paul Millsap?
I don't remember. Yeah, a lot of the names you're talking are way past their prime.
Yeah, that's true.
Blake has not been a good player in years, and LA's best years are behind him. Can they give you quality minutes off the bench? Probably.
But you could run James Harden at point. James Harden and Kevin Durant is. In my opinion, I think Kevin Durant is maybe the second. I'm gonna give it to Giannis. He's the second best player in the NBA. I don't know, man.
Definitely top
I think,
3. I mean, Steph's probably on that list after the season he had last year coming back. I mean, they're apples and apples. I mean, you could call it 2A, 2B. I mean,
yeah, they'll be in the playoffs, and anything can happen there. I know what you're saying though. Like Kyrie was supposed to be a part of that, but man, James Harden and Kevin Durant, I think they're gonna play with a fury, and they still have Joe Harris, right? They still have Joe Harris.
Jeez, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to learn that Nets roster if I call their game Tuesday night. So I'll be looking at it tomorrow. To answer this real quick from Miller, he says, "Do we think Jock will be on the team or going to G League? We need a third backup center." I'm going to assume Jock he'll stay right where he is unless we run Thad at center for small ball, which we could do.
He's not going. It would make no sense for him to go to the G League right now. I don't think it's necessarily a developmental project or anything like that, because he was already supposed to be in the NBA. We signed him to like a 2-year deal, right? We signed him to a 2-year. They want to see what they got, and he's playing phenomenal well. He's already a veteran, technically. I mean, this dude won a championship in Australia, right? And then bronze in the Olympic. He's not going to the G League. That wouldn't make any sense.
Marcus Aldridge had a heart problem. He was born with it. He's had it his whole life, but he had an issue with it last year that caused him to retire, but he's since unretired. We only have 4 players left, and up next is the player that I feel is the guy that's going to get cut from the roster, Al-Farouq Aminu.
Oh, yeah. He's
getting the incomplete grade. He only played in 1 game, so there's no point in even going over his stats. The Spurs didn't even try to work him into the preseason. I think he's gone.
Yeah, and Aminu, I don't care.
He's a terrible shooter.
I don't care, because even that 1 game he played, like I know he played well. Like the eye test will tell you he played well. He did play well. He had good defense. I think he had a couple shots. I know you see the stats there. Like, did he have a couple threes or 1 3 or?
He was 2 of 2 from the field, and 1 was a 3-pointer.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so he did well. But at the end of the day, man, I don't want Aminu on this team right now. That like, I know that a lot of people will say, we say that all the time, like, oh, you're stunning the progress of young guys, but this would definitely be doing that. Don't play him. Just move on.
Speaking of moving on.
Yeah, let's go.
KBD, Keita Bates-Diop, actually got some playing time in the preseason. He got 3 games, 16 minutes a game. Didn't shoot particularly well, 33% from the field, 33% from behind the arc. And he missed all his free throws. Great. But he did average 5 rebounds a game in only 16 minutes, which is pretty good for, pretty sure he's listed as a small forward and 4 points. I think he stays on the team, and he could be a quality bench spot player here and there.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked by Keita. He's very solid. I wasn't expecting a lot from him. I was never like huge on him, but this is one of those players that I definitely missed. With a lot of Spurs fans saying that he is good and he's going to do things for us. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But after watching him, no, he's solid and he's going to earn his minutes. And I would say he's part of the reason Luka's gone.
He is deceptively unathletic. His ability to finish at the rim in the preseason was strikingly bad, as he wasn't going for dunks and he missed a couple of layups. I was like,
"Yep,
dude, what's happening here?" And if you watch his 3-point shot, it's not a shot I would model my shot after. It's very
it's a little slow. I'll say that. I like the arc on it though.
I want to address, somebody's asking about Trey Jones. I think he's been dealing with an ankle injury all preseason, but I expect him to be I don't think he's going to the G League again. But
that's so tough, isn't it? Like I'm not sure. I'm on the fence with that. If he stays on the roster, then Primo probably definitely going to the G League, right?
And there's the conundrum. If I have to, I expect the Spurs rotation to be Derrick and Dejounte are obviously starting. Off the bench, it's going to be Lonnie and Bryn. That's what they ran in the preseason. I expect that to be the same in the regular season. If I got to choose between Josh Primo and Trey Jones as getting maybe those extra minutes or garbage time minutes, I might just be putting JP in there.
Yeah, well, I think my mind tells me Trey, but my heart tells me Primo. Because Trey Jones, he's definitely going to be solid. He'll be more solid, but my heart wants to see Primo out there, honestly.
Primo's not ready to be our 6th man. No, not yet. We only have a few players left. Another player that I thought possibly could get cut, but Luca is gone, and he'll be the vet of the team. He'll be the oldest player at 33. Thaddeus Young played in 3 games and definitely gave us a mixed bag. as there was a lot of goods and bads in his game. He only shot 25% from the field, but did hit 50% of his three-pointers. Rebounded very well at 6.7 rebounds a game, and even got 1.7 steals per game, which was the same thing he averaged points per game, 1.7. So there were times watching him, he made good plays, but there are other times he got very butterfingery and looked lost. And I don't feel like going into the regular season that there's a comfort level with the Spurs offense in him. I don't feel like they're meshing very well right now.
Okay. I guess with me, I was cool with that. I thought one thing that shocked me was the 3-point shooting. I didn't know, because I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't watch a lot of that. Thaddeus Young, I haven't. But after looking into his stats, actually after the first couple preseason games, I was like, wait a minute, is that shoot threes? And I was like, oh, sure enough, he has points in his career where he shoots threes. I guess it just depends on where you want to put him or what position he's in, depending on what team he's on. But I think that the Spurs definitely could utilize him. He's a hustle player, fits straight in with Keldon Johnson. He can shoot threes. So I'm actually high on Thad. If you trade him, cool, but make sure you get something good. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm okay with him being on the roster.
Do you realize if Al gets cut, which we expect, and Thad gets traded, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at that point we would have 0 players that are 30 or over.
Oh. When is McDermott's birthday?
I don't know. I know he's 29 right now. But I think at that point, unless he has a birthday like in the next couple of days, which would totally mess that stat up. But yeah, we have a very young roster. I think they showed the average age in the last preseason game was 25.3 or something. It was young.
And January 3rd is when McDermott will be 30.
All right, so for the rest of the year, we would have no players 30 or over.
Basically, yeah. Wow.
That's an exciting time as a Spurs fan, let me tell you that.
That is weird. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's Forbes. I want to say he's 27.
27, maybe? Yeah.
We're both thinking around 27. This is 5th year in the league, probably 26 or 27. He's still young.
I'm going to go with 28, just to be sure.
We have one player left. Our second-round pack, Joe Wieskamp, who I called Joe Wiseman.
He's 28.
Who was 28?
Bryn Forbes.
Oh, he's 28? Oh, he's older than I thought he was. Wieskamp didn't necessarily have a good preseason. He's, a rookie. Shot 25% from the 28% from the field, 20% from the arc, only averaged 1.2 points per game, only got 7.4 minutes. He was essentially a garbage time player. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect much. He's going right to the G League. He's on a 2-way contract. He is heading there ASAP. I didn't follow his college career. I know he had a big, huge game-winning bucket with whatever college team he played for. I already forgot. But you do have any thoughts on Joe?
Yeah, I think that he plays very hard. I like his hustle. It seemed like I'm always weary when it comes to young players because they're really trying to prove themselves and they do a little too much. But I don't think that he did anything out of the realm of his capabilities. He didn't try to do too much. He didn't try to drive to the rim very often. He knows he can shoot, and he was trying to show it. Even though sometimes he went up short, I'll say this, he has shooter mentality. He did not give up on his shots. I think he had one really bad one, but as soon as he got it again, he shot again. So yeah, I like him a lot. I think down the line, he could be a really solid piece to us. Honestly, I know this is going to be really out there, but I feel like maybe Matt Bonner 2.0, maybe Matt Bonner. I see it. I don't know. It's pretty nice. He got a nice stroke to his shot.
Yeah, there's nothing to add. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, the little I've seen, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, he was probably pressing a little bit in the preseason. There could have been butterflies too. Your first time playing in the NBA preseason or not, you're out there with other players in it. It could be, I know I would be nervous. So that's the roster. I think one last thing that I'd like to close up with before we call night. We'll probably go for about an hour, which is, just a few more minutes. Your prediction for the Spurs record this year. Give me a range for how many wins you think they'll have.
Oh man. It's 82 this season, correct?
82.
Okay. I didn't see the schedule. I seen half the schedule. Is the other half out, or are they kind of doing it how they did it last time?
I actually have the Spurs schedule here because I keep it up so I can see. Okay. I have every game there so I can see. The whole season's up on ESPN. The only two games that are not scheduled. We have Golden State April 9th. It doesn't have a time. Dallas April 10th doesn't have a time. But the whole schedule is up. We do have, just as a heads up, 4 games on NBA TV, 2 in a 1 month span between November 7th and December 2nd, and then at the end of the season. NBA TV is only 6 months for 1 month, $6 for 1 month. So I'll be getting it for 2 months out of the season, so I can call the Spurs games.
Okay,
just a heads up.
I think we'll be. I hate to just say this right now. I think I'll have a better idea over the next few games.
This is an early prediction.
I'll say slightly over 500. I'm gonna go with just 5, whatever this would be, like 5 games, 6 games over 500. I think that the Spurs have I know this is gonna sound weird, but I think all together, all around, we have a better team than last season. We have a very cohesive team, and I think that they're gonna beat you with the gritty work. And they play for each other. All of them like each other, which is actually a positive. I mean, that's a good thing. I think some people kind of overlook that. But yeah,
chemistry is huge.
Yeah, the chemistry is great, dude. Chemistry is great. So I think when it's all said and done, they'll be slightly above 500. And I think if we're talking, do we make the playoffs or not? I could see us being, I know this is crazy, maybe 5th seed. I'm gonna go with 5th, 6th. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna go with 5th seed. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I like it. Yeah. Who got cut? Luca Samanic got cut. He is making sandwiches in New York now. And more. This preseason, I've been saying about 32 to 36. But now that I've seen the team play, and I see the 3-point shooting, and I see Dejounte stepping up, really stepping up, looks like he's going to be the leader on this team. It's tough because I look at the way they've played in the last 2 years and they've been under 500, but we're a very different team. The offense is not going to flow through DeMar DeRozan whenever he's on the floor. Hopefully we're not going to have the forced minutes with the rotations where last season it drove me crazy. And I'm sure you started noticing too, Clan, where no matter how good Dejounte Murray was playing in the first quarter, we're halfway through the quarter. Let's bring Patty in. I could not stand the rotations last year. No matter what the game flow was, it was a minutes-based rotation than rather game flow situation. So hopefully Pop's not doing that this season. I think we'll be more 500. I'm going to say 41 and 41, and we'll be a fringe playoff team. The Western Conference has some pretty stacked teams. And the Lakers have, 5 All-Stars on their team now, or whatever the heck it is, or 4. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, and Russell Westbrook. So we're going to run into some teams that are juggernauts, and I don't expect us to win those games. That doesn't mean we can't, though, because we have a lot of youth. And when we're playing those teams that have a lot of those vets that are north of 30, I think that's going to be our advantage. We might tire teams out going into the fourth quarter. Hopefully, we didn't see a lot in the preseason, but hopefully we're just running teams up and down the court, and Pop's, keeping our guys fresh with rotation. So I think we can't have our expectations high. I know some Spurs fans are like, yeah, definitely top 5 playoff team. I'm like, look, we have a lot of young guys. This is a new era of Spurs. I'll be happy if they go 500. And if they do anything better than that, that's just, icing on the cake.
And I want to add this too, because I don't think I mentioned this. My prediction is based on how well Lonnie Walker and Devin Vassell does. I think Lonnie Walker can meet almost his potential. We're good. And I think if Devin Vassell takes even a bigger jump than he did last season, we're really good. That's where I could say, okay, we have somebody that we can depend on. Right now, I know it's a little iffy and it's kind of like play by committee, and we're going to have a lot of 18, 12, 12, 10, 10. And that's great, but that's dangerous too. When you have, so many players playing well, that means that's not one concrete guy that you can just lean on. Even the 2014 team, how balanced we were, we knew when it's all said and done, we could lean on Duncan. We could lean on Duncan for a bank shot or get us some points here and there. But I'm hoping Devin Vassell can be that. And if Devin Vassell or Lonnie Walker or both those guys can step up, I say about 5-6 games over 500.
I think that's the only reason I'm tempering my expectations right now, because you had 2 very important words that fit a lot of this roster right now: the if and potential. And I said that a lot last year, and it didn't quite pan out. I kept saying, if Lonnie, and Lonnie didn't quite get there last year. Keldon was there at the first half of the season, but definitely tapered off in the second half of the season. So it's really going to depend on, the if and potential is, unfortunately, it's not stable because we don't know what we have for a lot of these players that are in their second and third year. I feel like there's a lot of potential there, but if they're inconsistent every night like they were the last couple years, it could be a rough season where we go out one night and beat the Bucks or the Lakers, And then the next night we lose to the Magic. And we did that
Yeah.
last season. And it was frustrating beyond belief.
Yeah. And by the way, Peter mentioned this in the chat. So, okay. Yeah. Tomorrow would be the last day, right?
Is it?
So, yeah.
It's going to be Luca Samanic is off the team. I got it. All signs point to Al-Farouq Aminu being cut. He played one preseason game. I don't believe his contract is guaranteed, and I think he's got a $6 or $10 million contract. No disrespect to him, but I think he's gone.
Well, the way the Spurs were talking about it, even during like the press conferences during media day and all that, it kind of looked as if, or sounded as if, he wasn't going to stay with the team. They were just praising him about his professionalism. Like, they weren't talking about, oh, we're so happy for him to be here and he's going to add someone. It wasn't like that. It was just like, yeah, it's really cool that he's, here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want, this sounds bad, but he's leftovers from the DeMar DeRozan trade.
Yeah, he is.
It was a contract dump. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't fit the direction of the team. We're going young. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Has not played much the last 2 years, and I think 4 of the last 5 years he's shot under 40% from the field. With one of those years under 30%. And that's not what we're looking for right now. We need people that can put the ball in the rim.
Yeah, and Daniel's right. Don't forget we got Greg Popovich, so we're gonna win a championship this year. I'm sure that's what you meant.
There's always a chance. Which some people have addressed it. I haven't done a video on it. I don't think you have. I don't think I've seen you do a video on it. I think we know Pop is retiring next year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's not news to me. I've expected that for ages. I feel like if he breaks the record this year, which I expect him to, he's gone after this season. He's in his 70s. Yeah. At some point, you got to just stop and enjoy life.
You're overrated. I don't mean to go at your chat. I'm sorry.
Whoa,
I've seen him in my
overrated.
chat too. I've seen him in my chat too. You're overrated, Tavarius. You're overrated.
All right, man. I've gone over everything I want to go over in regards to the preseason and the players. Do you have anything you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
Subscribe to me. That's all.
Well, here, if somebody has not done that yet, I'll drop a link to your channel.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate everybody being interactive and, talking to us, because I talked to TSR about this, like, even in private. Like, we really do this because we're just Spurs fans. Like, it's not something where, we want to be the dictators of all Spurs opinions or anything. Like, we just enjoy hanging with you guys. And, especially where I'm from, I'm expecting where you're from too. Like, there's not a lot of Spurs fans around me. So it's cool to just like get on my channel, talk to you guys, and go over to TSR and talk to you guys in his chat. So yeah, I just thank you, everybody. Thank you.
It should be noted, neither Clan or I are from Texas. I don't believe you're from Texas, nor do we live in Texas. I'm in Connecticut right now.
Yeah. I'm right now I'm in Kentucky, but I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. So yeah. So where are you?
Doesn't matter where you are, because the Spurs are always right there.
Right here.
Right there. I can't make that. All right. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me and talking Spurs tonight. If you had not hit the thumbs up, make sure you do so. It does help support the channel. It's fast, free, fun, nutritious, and delicious. Make sure you sub up to my man, Clan the Spurs fan. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you sub up to me too. We do a lot of Spurs content because we love the team, and it's going to be a fun and exciting year. I'm looking forward to working with you again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, until next time, what you going to do when TSR Sports and Clan the Spurs fan run wild on you? Go, Spurs, go!